Myntra is the largest fashion online platform in India. We have different business models, which is an external brand which sell on our platform, as well as we have a lot of private labels which have been created by Myntra, and we sell them as well. And it's by far the largest and growing at leaps and bounds.
Looking at Myntra specifically, what initiatives are in place in terms of robust supply chain management and sourcing?
We are looking at a trend where the world is moving towards a very, very agile supply chain. A trend that we are noticing is that every brand wants width instead of depth, because the cost of sitting with a very high inventory is humongous. So we are now completely lean as far as the inventory holding is concerned. We are working with very, very less minimum order quantities, as we call them in our world. And we are working with quick turnarounds. So we are working on projects where the turnaround time is 30 days, 35 days, 45 days, 50 days in some cases. And I think that is where the world is going to pivot. And fast fashion is something that, even if we like or we don't like, is here to stay.
I think your discussion there on fast fashion fits in very nicely with sustainability and what Myntra is doing in terms of sustainability.
We realized that the biggest problem when it comes to e-com platforms is the packaging material. So back in 2021, we converted all our products into paper packing. So Myntra sends all the products that have to be sent to the customers packed in a paper, and that paper is recyclable paper. Our commitment to environment has been such that we have been working with Canopy now for 3-4 years, who are driving a lot of initiatives within the supply chain, whether it is converting our transportation vehicle into an electric vehicle. We are converting a lot of warehouses into solar panel run warehouse, so that the energy requirement from that warehouse is minimum.
What do you feel, in your opinion, are the current challenges within supply chain? Because we know during the COVID pandemic, and of course the various wars that have been happening across the world, that has impacted supply chain efficiency. What challenges are you facing at the moment, and how do you overcome those?
The challenge that we are facing, and I'm talking about the Indian ecosystem right now, is a shift in consumer preference. The way they used to buy earlier, that is changing drastically. We are now seeing a lot of social media platforms influencing the way consumers are buying. So you will find a lot of Instagram sales happening these days, a lot of push which are happening on Facebook, on other platforms, which are influencing the customers to buy, which means that as a brand, I'm now being forced to fight with a lot of D2C players in the market. A lot of startups have come into this in this ecosystem, who have a differentiated proposition, and we have to now try and match them when it comes to their agility, their scale, and the way they are offering products. The way we have to address this problem is to have differentiated supply chain models within a supply chain. So you will have to have a supply chain which is addressing only this part of the cohort. There has to be a supply chain within a supply chain which is addressing the fast fashion bit of it, and then the conventional supply chain can function the way it used to function. But I think if we are trying to have one supply chain address all the three, it's a recipe for disaster, because every mode of business has its own requirements, and it's very different from one another.
What do you think the outlook for e-commerce is?
Everybody wants to have a dropship model where 20 units or 30 units are first dropship. We test the water, and the moment we get to know that there is this ABC out of 100 products, maybe 20 are selling faster than the rest, we kill the rest of the products, and we place a replenishment order which is far higher than what we had placed earlier, and start getting the goods. I think this is something which is going to reduce the cost of holding inventory, a dead inventory within the ecosystem. And if you look at it from a very, very macro level, it also helps sustainability, because right now I'm not ordering 1,000 units of 100 articles. I'm in fact picking just 20, and that is where I'm going to test the water. Once that sells, I'm going to just repeat those products. So drop shipping is going to stay.